Today I want to do a little talk on the mountains versus the beaches. Where do you like to go on vacation? That was always a question we had when we were traveling, and Robert and I, in all our years, loved to go places, do things, and enjoy vacations. And also, when we were homeschooling, we did week-long field trips uh, to learn more as we traveled and see everything live. So we loved the mountains. We went to the mountains of Vermont and New Hampshire, the White Mountains and the Green Mountains, and of course we spent a lot of time up in the Poconos where Aunt Roseanne had her B&B, and we spent a lot of time on the Appalachian Trail, and I did a lot of girls trips where we did Shenandoah, Skyline Drive. Robert and I did that with other families. So we've been to lots of mountains. In fact, when we were in California in the early 20s, that was climbing the mountain at Riverside. And also, we did part of the Pacific Crest Trail in the wind. Karina and I did that on another trip, a little bit, a different trip that was in the heat. So, always loved the mountains. The mountains of Pennsylvania where we grew up, uh, the Blue Ridge, and then of course the Blue Ridge Parkway down here in the south where we are now. But we equally loved the beach. Went to the beach, went to Ocean City, Maryland, went to Wildwood, and then the biggest beaches trips were to Long Beach Island, which is a 12-mile island along the Jersey Shore, which we went there almost every year for years, and then we decided to go other places, and then we were going to Long Beach Island, which we called LBI, every other year. So, loved the beaches. We swam in the Gulf of Mexico when we went to outside of Tampa when Robert had his trip back in the 1970s, and then we were there in 2024 where we went to Pensacola and swam in the beach and the bays. Loved jumping the waves, and when we were out in California, of course, we had to swim in the Pacific. And when we were in Hawaii, we had to swim in the Hawaiian waves, which were much more bigger and violent than some of the waves in the Atlantic. But we loved the beaches, we loved the mountains for our vacations. But then I had an epiphany just recently, probably within the last year and a half, that it's really not just the beaches that calls me or not just the mountains, but it's the water. I love the water. I love the water of the oceans. I love the water of the rivers and the lakes. When Robert and I were dating in the 1970s, we canoed on Lake Pinchot a lot, and we did a lot of kayaking. Since we moved to Tennessee now in our later years, we kayaked the Ocoee River and the Hiwassee River and the Tennessee River. We liked kayaking and canoeing and on the water. I liked taking the ferry boats through some of the inlets in the Outer Banks. We crossed Lake Champlain on a ferry. We loved the water. And then, of course, we loved Pagosa Springs. We were out there twice. We did the Healing Springs in North Carolina. And that water is just wonderful to soak in. So we went to Pagosa Springs for our 30th wedding anniversary and then back again for our 40th wedding anniversary, and just loved the hot springs that you could dip in. We loved the water of the Pacific, And then during my triathlon years, it was fun to compare all the different kinds of water: swimming in a pool, swimming in an indoor pool, swimming in an outdoor pool for your races, or swimming in a lake, which was really a big difference in swimming in a swimming pool where you were looking at the dark and you couldn't really see anything. You didn't see a bottom. And then actually I wanted to do a triathlon in a wetsuit, so that was another experience in the water. So the question is, or the question used to be, is it the mountains or the beaches? And my conclusion is it's the water, because you see the mountains have the water, the lakes, the waterfalls, the rivers, and the beaches have all the oceans and the Gulf and all the water. So it's equally exciting. It's all God's creation, which is really pretty amazing. And I love the nature and the outdoors and the hikings, so I love the mountains, the beaches, and the water. But the answer to the question is, I think the answer is the water is what springs for me. And I guess it's kind of interesting because I think my birthday is Aquarius, which is the water bearer. So I like the water. I like to soak in the water. I like to swim in the water. And I wish I could do that now. But this is not the time for water for me. This is the end of January 2025. And I'm pretty much bedbound with a drain, so I can't even get in the water. Although I love those shower days. Signing off for now. If you would have your choice of a vacation to the mountains or to the beach, where would you go?